All right. Not gonna forget to do the intro this time. So, welcome back to Pop Pump Podcast. I think it's episode 14. I'm Michael.
This is Chase.
All right. Let me see. What do I want to start with? Well, I'll just get something easy and quick out of the way first. Since I talked about it a little bit, like last episode, I talked about how one of my like top three most hated things in fiction is when they do the main character loses their powers at the end because reasons. Um,
Right.
But actually, I think my number one thing that immediately always makes me like, especially, this is really just in movies and TV shows that this is a thing because it can't really be a thing in a book, but or a comic book or anything like that. But if a movie starts and there is a voiceover narration, I immediately am like, if you don't show me whoever's talking writing in a journal or telling this story to another person in the movie or something, then I'm immediately going to be pissed off because it's just like literally a cheap way to exposition dump when you don't have enough runtime in a movie or a TV show to give all the information you want to give. Like that's literally the only reason they do it, you know? I hate that so much.
Yeah.
Like it's just the second a character starts narrating at the beginning of the movie, I'm like, this bitch better be writing in a journal. Don't play with me. Like, if the character is talking to me, then
Mm,
they shouldn't be talking. Like you know what I mean?
mm.
Unless
Doesn't matter. It does. It could be a side character. It could be anybody
mm,
as long as you get shown who it is.
yeah, like as long as they are right, yeah, if they're writing in a journal or if they're talking to a therapist or something, like as long as it's
Yeah.
actually
Or
happening.
just internal monologue.
Nope, no,
Internal
because
monologue doesn't work.
why are they talking? Because that's talking to me. If they're just internal monologuing, then they're talking to me. They're talking to the audience. Like if a movie opens up and it's just like and the character's like, I remember when things used to be different and now everything is
Sure.
horrible. It's like that's
Right.
internal monologue. But if they're not writing it in a journal or telling it to a therapist, then they're speaking to the audience because the movie needs you to know something that it doesn't have time to actually show you in the movie. So they're like,
I mean,
well,
the
we'll just
exposition
yeah.
dump is what you're saying.
So we'll just exposition dump with 5 minutes of monologuing, even though we could actually show you these things instead of. Especially, it really pisses me off. I'm really gonna try to have to think of like a good example. It really pisses me off though when they do it and then they also still actually show you the stuff in the movie itself because then
Such
it's
as,
like oh my god.
I mean, just make up an example.
I think the Fifth Wave does it actually. That movie. Um, there's like at the very beginning it opens up with the main girl Cassie. She kills a guy, and
Right.
in the opening monologue she also says something to the effect of, I remember, you know, she's like, I miss the version of me who didn't kill people or something like that. And it's like you don't have, or she says something about how like killing people makes her sad or depressed or whatever the case might be. She specifically states how she feels about killing people. And then the movie, the very next scene, shows her being like traumatized by having just killed a guy. So it's like you could
Okay.
have just not had her say it and then you showed it because you
Mm.
showed it anyway. So
Well, yeah.
she's not writing it in a journal. She's not talking to anybody. She's talking to
Yeah.
the
I mean, well,
audience.
that's like literally like, yeah, probably the worst kind of version of that
Yeah.
is when you do it and then immediately show it.
Yeah.
It's just like showing the ridiculousness of you saying it in the first place.
So that's the worst, is when it's like, I don't like to kill people because it makes me sad, and then the next scene is the person crying over having killed somebody, and it's like you didn't even have to say that because you showed us immediately afterwards. So that's the worst version of it. But
And
even if they don't show you and they're just using it as an excuse not to show you, that's still bad. Um, like get a longer runtime. I don't know what to tell you. Like
yeah, I mean that's I do think runtime is a factor for sure. As funny as that is. but it's also just laziness for sure as
Yeah.
well.
I mean,
Like most of the,
yeah. I would say sometimes it's like if you really need the audience to know something and you actually and for whatever reason you just don't have the runtime to do it and it's not
and
necessarily
I
your
think it's
fault, then
yeah, and it's
fine.
usually adapted from books. I feel like
Yeah.
they're just pulling the shit off the page instead of like, okay, we can't really show this.
But still it's annoying. It's just kind of like, could you just find a way to do it, please? Um,
Yeah.
but yeah,
No, I think I think most people would agree with you. I think most people would agree with you. There's plenty of people probably that don't care, but
it's
I'd
like
say they're in the minority to some extent.
every single fucking Wattpad movie ever does it. Every single one. With every
Yeah,
single one of them starts with the girl monologuing, and it's just like I know she's not writing that shit down. I know she's talking to me, but like
right.
whatever, man. Do what you got to do.
I mean, what are you gonna do? I feel
Do
like that's probably like, I don't know. I haven't seen those movies, but the Mamma Mia movies, aren't they? God, they got to be like that. I think. I think I've heard
maybe,
that shit when I was on. It's like half, but it's also isn't that a book? So it's like I don't. I'm so confused. They're writing a book, I should say, in the movie. I don't know. I don't know what's going on actually.
but yeah.
Yeah, there's probably a lot of examples too.
X-Men are so bad at PR too in universe. They're just terrible at it. Like they get blamed for shit all the time and they never have a way to prove that it wasn't their fault, and it's just like y'all need to stop letting like y'all need to take notes from the Justice League on how to not let humans push you around. Like wait, that's more of like a structural difference in like Marvel comics though and DC comics where uh the Marvel heroes let the world treat them like celebrities as opposed to like these higher beings that are protecting them. What
Yeah,
comes down to like the secret identity thing because it's very scarce in Marvel comics compared to like everybody in DC has. It's not everybody, but most people have secret
a lot.
identities,
Yeah, for sure.
or their only identity is their hero identity. Like Wonder Woman doesn't have a secret identity because she's always Wonder Woman, but like
Sure.
but it's kind of it's a very noticeable difference though. Like there's an Avengers storyline going on right now where I don't know some like Red Hulk was trying to take over the world or some shit, and
Right.
Mr. Fantastic is at the Pentagon or something talking to Secretary of Defense or whatever, and he's in a normal like suit, like a black and white suit. He's not wearing his super suit, and he's
Yeah.
talking to the Secretary of Defense girl, and he's like, oh yeah, we know that Red Hulk's doing this thing, and we're like the Fantastic Four and the Avengers are on standby. So wherever you guys need help, just tell us where to go, and we'll go help. And Secretary of Defense is like, yeah, we don't need your fucking help, and if you or any of the Avengers get involved, then we'll prosecute you. So go home,
Okay.
Mister Richards, or whatever. And I'm like, see, this the whole y'all's problem in Marvel is that the fact that they know your real names and the fact that you went there in a normal like human suit, like in normal person attire, and I'm like you're
Yeah.
taking away like the mythic presence of it. It's like show up in your super suit.
Well, I feel like at that point, those are people that are making a conscious decision to not be. They don't want that image, I would assume, because I would agree. Why else would you do it? Uh, but maybe some people just don't fucking like that. I don't know.
But the whole
Maybe people don't
Marvel
like that image.
Yeah, the whole Marvel universe is like that though. It's like if they didn't know your human names and they weren't able to lower you to being like, "Oh, that's not Captain America, that's just Steve Rogers." It's like if at that like you're just a
Yeah.
person. If they can call you Steve and that's how you respond and like they there's no like mythic identity that they have to
He's
attach
definitely
to you.
that guy, though. He definitely just wants to be a fucking dude to
Sure, sure, sure.
to.
And
I would
that's
definitely, but I
that's
mean, I don't disagree.
and I don't necessarily dislike it when I'm reading Marvel comics. It's just like a noticeable difference where it's like they want to be normal people so badly that they allow the world to treat them like citizens with special gifts to the extent of like that they let the government tell them what to do and stuff like that. And it's just like, you don't have to listen to them. You're like way more powerful than they are. But because everyone knows who they're like their identities and stuff like that, they can't get away with it because then the government can be like, oh well, we'll just arrest Tony Stark because what the fuck is he gonna do about it? You know, because
Right.
he's just a guy. Whereas like no one tries to arrest Batman because he's not Bruce Wayne. He's fucking Batman. You know, it's like, and even though he doesn't have powers and like he's just a guy, the world doesn't see it that way. They're like, yeah, we're not gonna fucking bother Batman. That's crazy. Why like why would we do that?
Yeah.
Or any of them, you
Yeah.
know? It's like if Superman shows up anywhere in the entire world, everyone's just like, oh yes, sir, Superman, whatever, we'll get out of your way. Like by default. That is not a thing in Marvel Comics. Like even you know Captain America could show up somewhere and
Right.
in another country or whatever, and they'll be like, "Oh, you need clearance to be here." And it's just like if Superman shows up in fucking I don't know, like Russia,
Yeah.
even like the Russians would just be like, "Oh yeah, cool, you can do whatever you want because you know you're Superman."
I mean, Captain America could be like that. He
But
maybe
he's
he
not
should,
though.
but like he just doesn't, I guess.
Yeah,
And
but
Superman, I mean,
but even if he
I could
tried,
understand why he would. Yeah.
it's not. But it's not like Superman is like forcing people to do stuff. You know what I mean? It's like he's just they see him on like the world puts him on such a high pedestal, and not just him, but like any of the Justice League that they can do whatever they want, and
Yeah.
it's not in like a them being rude or pushing people around or them like you know ruling over people or whatever. It's just like the world knows that they're nice and that they're there to do like to protect them and stuff like that. So if they go anywhere in the world, people are just like, okay, yeah, y'all are cool. Whereas like the Avengers can't just go anywhere they want because I mean like they physically can, but if they go into another country, that country will be like, get the fuck out. What are you doing here? Like you can't just
Well,
walk into
especially
our
if you're like
country.
Black Widow, you just can't fucking command
Yeah,
enough respect.
but and I don't think
But
really
like,
any of them have that kind of. None of them really have that kind of aura like the Justice League
I
members
think they
do.
could exert. I think some of them could exert it, but I agree, none of them do it.
Yeah, like they're re-releasing an old. I think it's from like the late '90s, early 2000s. Justice League Avengers crossover comic book, and the first issue of that kind of makes fun of this, where like each team, like the Justice League and the Avengers, visit the other universe, right?
Sure.
And when the Justice League gets to the Marvel universe, everywhere they go, humans, like random fucking citizens, are just like, oh my god, are they mutants? Should we be afraid? Like, don't go near them. Or they're like yelling at them to go home because they're like freaks or whatever. Like, they see like Martian Manhunter and they're like, ah, oh, he must be a mutant. Fuck that guy. And they just immediately are like yelling at the Justice League for no, literally, they just didn't even do anything. They're just standing there. And like random citizens in the Marvel universe are just like, fuck you. And then when the Avengers pop over into the DC universe, you know, there's some criminals doing something and they stop them real quick and they see the civilians like crowding around them and you know Iron Man or Scarlet Witch or somebody is like we should leave before they start blaming us for, you know, destroying this street, you know, this block of the city or whatever. And then all the civilians are like cheering them on and they're like, "Ooh, can we get your autograph and stuff like that?" And like and they're all the Avengers are like, "This is fucking weird, bro." Like like they're so put out, like they're so uncomfortable because they've never experienced people just liking them before. Even the Avengers, they're like
It's funny.
the citizens just being like, "Oh, that was cool as fuck." What are your guys' names? You know, and the Avengers are like, "This is super weird. Nobody in our universe likes us." And I'm just like, yeah, it's because you let them treat you like normal people. Like if you were like, I'm Iron Man instead of I'm Tony Stark, then it'd be different. But it's not because
Yeah,
you
it
let.
could be worse though. That could tilt further in a negative direction. If they just associate it with like a god, you know what I mean? If it goes too far there, and it's just like these all these gods are assholes, and we're just kind of at the mercy.
Right, but I mean
Right.
that's what. But they wouldn't do that though because they're not bad guys. Like the Justice League.
Well, I'm saying if they continue to have the negative, yeah, thoughts,
Oh yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
connotations,
yeah,
then that's where it could go.
yeah.
Is all I'm saying.
And that's the problem with like how the X Men are written a lot of the time is because the X Men are like, oh well, we just want to live in peace. But then every time they get pushed more and more, then like Cyclops gets really angry and basically goes and threatens to murder somebody if they attack X Mansion again or whatever. And it's like you can't do that. I'm like because the second that you go like they just did this literally. So there's this like government organization that was hunting the mutants or some shit like that because there's always a government organization hunting the mutants, and
Sure.
they beat the guys, and then Cyclops and his whole like his there's like two X-Men teams, one's led by Cyclops and the other one's led by Rogue. Irrelevant, but like so Cyclops's team goes to the leader, they're like the director of this government agency's house in the middle of the night, and they break into his house, and it's like Cyclops and fucking Juggernaut and oh my god, and Beast and
Yeah.
and Magic and a handful of other people in this dude's room in the middle of the night, and they just square up and they wake him up, and they're basically like, if you fuck with us again, we will kill you. And then they leave. And I'm like, you can't
Very
you
necessary.
can't do that because now you've just proven what this like the government agency is like, oh, the mutants and the X-Men are dangerous and they can't be trusted. And you're like, we're not dangerous, we're here to protect the world. And then
Right.
you get angry and you go threaten to murder the guy if he ever comes after the X-Men again. And it's like now you've proven him right.
Yeah, whose fucking idea was that, man?
Cyclops is a terrible leader. I don't know why he's the leader of the X-Men because he just crashes out every 5 minutes like that, where it's just like he's just like, oh yeah, let's do it, blah 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 blah, and then he gets really upset over fucking nothing, and not nothing, but like he gets really upset. It'd be like if someone was like called Superman like a disgusting alien or something, and he grabbed that
Sure.
person by the throat and was like, I'll fucking laser you to death if you say that shit again. That's what Cyclops is like. Like Cyclops acts super like
Insane.
like Cyclops is a soldier. He's a good soldier. He's not a good leader because he does not know how to handle he does not know how to handle he needs like an HR department
Emotions.
to rein him in or something. Like yeah, the X-Men they're just terrible at their PR. And it's also not helpful that like they don't seem to have any sort of like they unilaterally just excuse the behavior of some of their villains and make them good guys and stuff like that. And I'm like, but
Interesting.
it doesn't work when like Magneto is an X-Man now. And I'm like, I'm sure that there was like like
Of
a decent
course.
arc of like how that happened, but I guarantee
Sure.
you they did not ask the government for permission to do that shit. There's no way that they were like, oh yeah, so you know this guy that's been trying to genocide humanity for like 30 years, yeah, he's one of us
Man,
now.
give him a pardon.
So you're gonna have to fuck off and just let him be free and be like a part of our team
Yeah,
now. And
that
it's just
is
like you
interesting.
can't do that. I'm like, but but yeah, I don't know. It's also just kind of it's weird because it's like when the X-Men stories are about like them trying to, prevent some apocalypse because of
Yeah,
some evil mutant that's trying to take over the world, something like it's like super entertaining. But then the next
sure.
storyline, every other storyline, it's like something really awesome where they're like time traveling or they're fighting,
Yeah,
the evil mutant, like the Brotherhood or whatever. And then the next arc
right.
is humans being racist towards them again. And then it's like every
We
single
gotta
time.
win over the people.
Yeah, it's like really awesome superhero shit, political drama. Really awesome superhero shit,
Hmm.
political drama. It's like you just stop.
Really?
Just stop. Just please stop doing the humans hate mutants thing because I don't care. Because the problem with it too is like narratively it always resets to the exact same point of like, oh, the humans 50-50 hate all mutants. So it's just
Right.
kind of like it's not there's nothing interesting about it anymore because it's like I know no matter what storyline I'm reading that at the end of it the humans are still going to be like, fuck those guys. So
Yeah, you can't win over everybody, is gonna be their argument.
yeah, so it's like or kind of like the joke in Spider-Man storylines where like J. Jonah Jameson always blames everything on Spider-Man. It always
Right.
comes back, except Spider-Man's different because Jonah is alone in that. Everybody loves Spider-Man. He's one of the few Marvel characters that, in general, like the public is like, that dude's fucking the best, Whereas, but and again, you know why? Because he has a secret identity. They don't know that he's just some random teenager that fucks up his normal life all the time. They see Spider-Man's
Yeah.
the fucking awesome superhero, and that's all they
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Until they don't, I suppose. But
but that usually doesn't
then
happen for
it's
him. And
undone, and then it's we're back to normal or something.
yeah, usually though, in like the public likes Spider-Man as opposed to everybody else.
On average, would you say? Yeah.
Yeah, like Peter
Yeah.
Parker is going through and
Just it's
going
just
through
the
shit.
beginning arc.
Yeah. And really, I mean, and like J. Jonah Jameson himself is always kind of like trying to blame shit on Spider-Man, but nobody believes him
Right.
at a certain point where it's like they're just like, yeah, he's just saying shit. But like the
Well, that's
people,
how it plays out in like the games too. It's
yeah,
like by the
exactly,
end,
yeah,
like
yeah, but
nobody's buying
yeah.
what he's selling.
Yeah, both the games are like that, where it's like he's doing the podcast thing or whatever, and you can tell
Yeah.
that, and every guest that goes on the podcast is like, you're crazy, bro. Spider-Man's the best."
He's like
And
calling him out. Yeah. He
yeah,
doesn't have any like guess agree with him.
yeah, and that's what Spider-Man's world is like, basically. But for
Yeah.
everybody else, it's that they always get blamed. So it's just kind of annoying when it always resets to, oh, that was probably somehow like the X-Men stopped some horrible thing from happening, and then half the people will be like, yeah, they probably caused it though, so fuck them. And it's just like you don't have any proof of that, but I knew that it was gonna reset to this because it always resets to this. So whatever. So that's a little frustrating, but
It seems like with X-Men, for what it sounds like, it's just like they are intent on keeping that a core repeating storyline no matter what. I don't know if it's like one person, is two, five, 10 people that are like gotta be like championing this
oh
shit
yeah,
for
no,
it to keep coming back. Maybe they'll be gone eventually, but like they're still alive, or their shit is getting passed down and people are agreeing with it.
I would imagine it's an editorial, mandate that's been like part of
Yeah,
the storylines since their inception because I mean it's
yeah,
literally never been different. And people will try to argue and be like, "Oh, well that's the point." And I'm like, "I understand that that was the original
right.
point, but it doesn't make any sense anymore and it's tired."
Which I would be okay if that was the mandate up to a certain point. You know what I mean? Like I don't even have a problem with that, but you can't. It can't be forever.
Yeah, I'm like,
Like it could be a theme, sure, but
yeah.
in this case, like I don't even care if it comes up. Like it sounds like it's just coming up in everything,
Oh yeah.
and it's like if it's not the next story, it's the one after that or the one after that, and it's just going to come up again.
Yeah.
So, if you want to do that once in a blue moon just to get back to the old roots, sure, I guess. I mean,
Like you do it the way that DC does it. You know, like DC does it in such a great way. There's one specific character that hates everybody with superpowers in DC, and it's Waller.
right,
She's it. Waller, and whenever she is in charge of the government, her government agents are like that DC's version of that. So like when Waller is the main villain of the story, you get that a little bit, and then she loses, and then you don't get it again for like 10 years because it's just fucking Waller. What's she gonna do, right? Just do it that way. It's like the Sentinels, for example, are cool. Like as at not like obviously on their own because they're just robots that kill stuff. But it's like if every once in a while you want to go back and be like, oh, here's this isolated group that really, really hates mutants, and they've managed to rebuild some Sentinels, and they're back in the game. And then you deal with the anti-mutant stuff in this isolated, like make it like kind of like Hydra, where it's like Hydra is a specific, you know, tyrannical group
correct.
that shows up every once in a while and then they lose. Just have it be like that.
Yeah.
Don't have it be the whole world is always racist towards mutants all the time and it's an
No, there's like
inescapable.
recurring,
Yeah.
unified front that is some sort of group that returns or something.
Yeah.
That would be
Because then you can still have the original point of the X-Men in there, but
right.
only.
People are still think those thoughts, perhaps. Like I could agree there would be like a non-zero population, but it would never. Like to say it would never be the majority seems pretty crazy if they just keep saving the fucking world
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah, and that's the other reason why like it works so much better when the way that DC does it, because it'll be like Waller really hates all metahumans, but like her reasoning is so convoluted and fractured. Like and you could pick apart her logic as to why she hates metahumans super easily. And like the general population of the world is like, yeah, no, that bitch is crazy because
Right.
like obviously the Justice League is awesome and anybody and most metahumans are helpful and even the bad ones like they never succeed to a degree that's worthy of being like, oh, all metahumans are bad or whatever the case might be.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, no, the Marvel universe, everybody hates people with superpowers. Diabolical. I think that's why, like, even though I do like enjoy reading Marvel comics and stuff like that, I don't think I'll ever be able to enjoy Marvel stuff more than DC just for that alone.
Really.
Like, not even like there's lots of reasons, but that's like one of the big
Sure.
ones because it's just like
Like top five, top 10 reason.
yeah, top three reason because I'm like the idea that like the world somehow doesn't see that the Avengers and the X-Men and the Fantastic Four are like the best thing that's ever happened to them
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense. Whereas like in DC, everybody is like, "Oh, the Justice League's here. Thank fucking God." Or like the Titans or the Doom Patrol or any superhero team, individual superheroes doesn't matter. And even like the
Right.
most the most like scary superheroes, even like Batman, if you take someone like Batman and put him up against, I don't know, like a Daredevil or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like people see Daredevil and lots of people are afraid of Daredevil. And I know it's like a thing in movies and stuff that people they never really get away from it in Batman movies of like citizens kind of being afraid of him, but that is so not a thing in the comics. Like citizens in DC Comics not scared of Batman even a little bit. Criminals, yes, terrified of Batman. But if like
Right.
Batman, if like citizens see Batman like swinging through the streets or some shit like that, they're not like, "Oh my god, it's a giant bat! It's the Batman! Run, hide, or whatever." They're like, "That's
It's
fucking
the man.
cool." Yeah, they're like, "That's dope." Um, because Batman isn't like this scary guy in the shadows like he always is in the movies. Like when it comes to normal citizens, like especially like
Yeah.
they make a point of showing him be nice to kids a lot in the comics. Like if he especially if he's saving like a kid from a supervillain or some criminals or whatever, and he beats the shit out of those dudes, and the kid will be scared because of the violence, and then Batman will turn around
Sure.
and like sometimes he'll even take his mask off and be like, he'd be like, "Don't be scared, bro."
Makes
Like
sense.
he'd be like, "Don't be scared, I'm chill," and he'll like give the kid a lollipop or something, and I'm making that
Yeah.
up, like, but he's done shit like that
I mean, but
before,
like
like
you get the idea. I see the
yeah,
picture that's been
or
painted.
like if he's, I think an example that's probably actually happened before. He beats someone up and they're at like some old rundown carnival or something in Gotham, and he'll like and or oh I don't know, a good one, like if a kid's scared and they like drop their teddy bear or something, and after Batman's done beating the shit out of Scarecrow or whoever, he'll like turn around and pick up the teddy bear and give it back to the kid, and then like ask what the teddy bear's name is or something. Like he does some like extremely heartfelt personal shit when he's dealing with the actual people he's trying to protect, as opposed to how like in movies they don't really ever show you that. Like even in movies, when it comes to the citizens, he's not like scaring them, but he never like interacts with them. He's just like, "I'm Batman," and flies away. And it's like you don't have to do
Yeah.
that, bro. And
Classic.
and it's not how he interacts with people in the comics. And yeah, but it's just yeah. I don't like the way that I like the fact that the Justice League and all of their friends are collectively seen as heroes by the world in
Yeah.
general. And
Without really too much debate, and also not after a terribly long period of time.
right. And if anyone ever does try to like shame, like oh my god, like disgrace them or whatever, the
Yeah.
citizens never buy that shit. They're just like, you're crazy. You're just wrong. Like, someone like the Marvel character that's supposedly gonna be in Spider-Man or whatever, like the anti-mutant like newscaster guy or whatever. It's like whenever a
Yeah.
character like that comes along in DC, that guy will be like, "Oh yeah, you shouldn't trust Superman," and the world is like, "You're fucking stupid. Why would we not trust Superman?" Like,
Yeah.
and yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I do know. That's the reason.
I mean, yeah, it's like, yeah.
Speaking of DC stuff, oh yeah, I'll talk about like the DCU thing because obviously lots of people have been talking about, well, not lots of people, but the people that I think I mentioned this a couple episodes ago. People like Tyro Magnus or like Critical Drinker and stuff like that have been making videos like this where they're like, oh, because Supergirl did so poorly, the DCU's in trouble. That's like the tagline now. You'll see that on so many YouTube videos, like
The DC's in trouble.
the DCU's in trouble or the DCU might be in trouble or whatever. It's like every video talking about Supergirl has that as like the title or it's in the description or whatever the case might be. And it's just like, is it though? It's like how after it's kind of like the same thing that the MCU has been going through the past few years where like something that everyone thinks is great comes out like Thunderbolts and people were like, "Oh yeah, the MCU's back." And then Ironheart comes out and everyone's like, "Oh, the MCU's dead." And it's just like you're just
Yeah, it's
saying
back and forth.
stuff, and that's kind of what it feels like. And the reason that
Oh, so definitely, people will just want to call time of death, or like, oh, the DC is back. Like, people just want to make that fucking call, man.
yeah,
It's annoying. It's very annoying.
but the reason it's dumb for like Supergirl specifically is like, a whether like the people that really hate this movie are in the minority. First of all, like, and that's not a crazy thing to say. It's just the truth. It's like, let's see what it's at on Letterboxd. This is probably pretty cemented now.
Yeah. Yeah. How long has
Okay,
it been out?
a couple weeks, 2 weeks, I
Could be too
think.
bad.
Yeah, okay. Six
Yeah.
out of 10 is the consensus,
6 out of 10.
and that's
So,
that's not going to change.
just fine, basically.
Yeah, and it's like okay, so it's okay, it's fine, whatever. And so like the people that I just mentioned, like Critical Drinker, Tower Magnus, whatever, those people are like, oh,
Yeah.
this is the worst. They're like, this is the fucking like 2 out of 10. It's a piece of shit. It's the worst movie that's ever been made. Whatever. It's just like that's not true. Yeah, objectively, it's just not true. Um, it
Yeah.
did
I think people don't know how to judge some of these movies, man, I feel like. Or they're just stupid. Obviously, multiple things can be true.
it did do horribly at the box office. Like obviously, there's no getting around that. But the problem is people were like, "Oh, it did horribly at the box office. It's terrible. It doesn't seem like the DCU's got like." Well, I'll get to that in a second. But
Okay.
but the reason the DCU I don't think is it's not going to be killed by Supergirl doing poorly is because there are, let's
Yeah.
see, I'm going to count the Suicide Squad movie because even though most of that movie isn't canon anymore, um, there's like very minor parts of it which are, but I'll still count it because it was like the first thing James Gunn did for the DC stuff, so I'll count it.
Yeah.
But it's like there are currently five DCU projects, all of them. Okay, so Suicide Squad, people loved it,
Mhm.
even though I would say it's fucking not great at all. Like,
Yeah.
but people did love that movie, and it did really well, and like
Yeah.
it was a success and whatnot.
Yeah. Commercial success, at
Right.
least.
Peacemaker, both seasons of Peacemaker, people really liked, and it did well. It had good viewership and stuff like that.
Correct. Yeah.
Uh, Creature Commandos did really well, had good viewership, people liked it.
Hmm.
Superman did really well, had good viewership, made a solid profit. Everybody liked it.
Hmm.
And then
Yeah.
Supergirl did not make any money, but is okay.
Yeah.
That's
It's
the
just
whole the
just
whole
fine.
DCU right
Maybe
now.
forgettable is the worst crime it could be, or something.
Yeah. And it's like that's the whole DCU right now. So it's like
Yeah.
1 out of 5 things didn't make money, did not have good viewership, and 1 out of 5 things is considered mediocre while everything else is considered like great, basically, in general, good to
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, good to great for sure. Easily good, at best great.
And so I'm just like, nothing bad has happened yet. Like, I mean, yes, them losing money is bad, but like, it's a
Sure.
gigantic corporation. Like, they're not gonna like, you know, they're not gonna be
I mean, I
struggling for
think if I
air.
had to guess without having seen the movie, why it lost money, and I mean, you could definitely throw marketing in there, not only just because they spent a lot of money, but it didn't. I don't know. Some of it was good, some of it was bad. But anyways, that's you could speak more to that. But beyond that, yeah, I'd probably just choosing the story as not being this isn't like fucking a end game level movie, you
Sure.
know, relatively speaking. It's I would imagine that's probably part of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably the biggest part of it is it's I don't like saying Supergirl's not popular because that's just not true. But like for the general audience, you could say
Right.
Supergirl is not a big enough character this early on in the DCU to support
Mm-hmm.
her own movie, especially when the storyline that they did is very much Supergirl going on a side quest off Earth, doing shit
Right.
that doesn't really matter that much outside of her own character development. Like the only thing that happens in this movie that actually matters is Supergirl deciding to be Supergirl. But like the story
Right.
itself, 100% a side quest, and it's like fine. So it's like I get that because if you like yeah,
Yeah.
calling Supergirl unpopular is not is incorrect because it's like Supergirl has been a
Yeah.
popular character in DC Comics
Just results oriented at
for
that point.
right.
Like you just see it fail and you're like, oh, that must be because
Yeah.
this.
I would concede that she's not popular enough with general audiences to support her own movie this early on. Like I would support that statement.
This early, I am surprised. Like in general, I'm more surprised at like okay. I think a concern for the DCU would be or was perhaps that like okay, well, we need to do something similar to what the MCU did instead of just having these like ensemble movies where you meet the characters in 5 minute intros and then they go out and do some shit and you don't feel the camaraderie or whatever the fuck, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to give everybody, their little movie and then introduce them to the squad. That also means like by definition to some extent some are more important than others. Do some deserve a movie? Do some not? Like that becomes a decision. And I think they just chose like we'd rather introduce characters and give them their own movies. And it doesn't, maybe it'll be origin, but like in terms of it doesn't have to be a consequential movie. Sounds like a decision, at least for Supergirl.
Yeah. And I think it kind of feeds into what I was going to say next was the thing people are criticizing now because of like how Supergirl did not make a lot of money is the direction of the early DCU does seem very weird. Where, because like you take like the first few movies, like you take Phase 1 of the MCU, it was Iron Man and
Mm.
Iron Man 2, and Hulk and Thor and Captain America, and then Black Widow's introduced in Iron Man 2, and Hawkeye's introduced in Thor, and then you have the Avengers, and that was Phase
Yeah.
1. And so far, Phase 1 of the DCU has been Peacemaker, Creature Commandos, Superman, and Supergirl. And it's like, and then for the rest of this year, it's Lanterns
Yeah.
and then Clayface movie. And it's like, that's weird because that's two Justice League members, a B list supervillain, a Suicide Squad ripoff, and then a Superman sidekick. And it's like, I get from that perspective where it's just and then Clayface a Batman villain. Like it's weird that like the beginning
Yeah.
of the DCU has only had and one Justice League member gets a movie, Superman. And obviously he's getting a sequel next year, but still. So two
Right.
Superman movies and a Lanterns TV show are the only Justice League members that have gotten projects in the first 3-4 years of the DCU. So it's like
Yeah.
from that perspective, I'm like, that is weird, and that does concern me a little bit because it kind of seems like James Gunn wants to be too diverse too quickly with the storytelling stuff, and it's kind of just like
Mm.
you really just like you need to do a Batman and a Wonder Woman movie as fast as
Something like that, yeah.
possible. Like,
Something big.
and I guess like yesterday or whatever, they announced that they're giving Mr. Terrific a show because he was in Superman, if you don't remember. And he was like a pretty big part of that movie.
Well, people were talking about like people hyped about hyped about him.
Yeah.
Getting people really liked him. I should say.
Yeah,
That's
they
what I
did.
saw.
But even that, it was weird. It was like, if you were going to give Mr. Terrific a show, why didn't you announce it like the week after Superman came out when everyone was really, really talking about Mr. Terrific instead of waiting
Yeah.
almost a full year after Supergirl tanks, and then you're like, oh, we're doing a Mr. Terrific show. And then, like, I guess a couple weeks ago, too, they announced that they're, like, officially announced for real that, like, they're doing, like, a Jimmy Olsen show and stuff like that. And it's like, look, Jimmy is great and he's hilarious, but why are we doing a
Yeah.
Jimmy Olsen show? But, like, why is a Jimmy Olsen show being produced before a Batman movie or a Flash movie or a Wonder Woman movie or whatever, or even like yeah. So it's so from that point of view, I'm like that part is I guess concerning because it's just like, why
Sure.
are you not doing the Justice League first?
Well, like I think it's yeah, yeah,
The individual.
that is questionable. That is questionable. I don't know. I think maybe they wanted to like. I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is they want to maybe test run style to a certain extent, or like how they wanted to, the intangible bullshit, like how it feels. Even then, obviously, it's questionable, but maybe that's what they were thinking.
Yeah.
But you got to admit, like you got to take the risk at some point.
Yeah. And James, and it's weird too because James Gunn has said like basic not and I I don't know if he's talking about every single project that's come out so far, but he has said in interviews and stuff that you know everything, quote unquote, I don't know, again, I don't know if he's literally talking about everything so far, is gonna be part of an interconnected storyline that's leading to like some big thing like Endgame. He didn't say that
Right.
part literally, but
But
that's
like that's
what he was implying. It's like every project,
yeah.
even the ones that seem like they're weird and have nothing to do with anything, are all gonna lead to some big thing. And it's like, okay, but you need to start making that apparent. You can't just say that in an interview and then greenlight Creature Commando season 2, and then that show comes out and barely mentions, Superman or Batman or whatever, and then
Yeah.
people are like, okay, that was a good season of Creature Commandos, but what the fuck does that have to do with anything? And it's just like that's because that's the feeling people are starting to get from some of the projects that are getting announced or whatever, where it's like, especially like,
I mean, makes you worry. Is it actually like have they planned it all out, or are they still fucking making it up? Because
yeah,
I would bet. Give me Kalshi, give me whatever the fuck is giving it, but give me the ability to bet on the fact that they're still making some shit up realistically,
yeah,
probably.
and like right after
Fucked it.
Supergirl, came out too, they also doubled down and they were like, oh, now one of the movies that we're fast tracking or like focusing on really hard or whatever is a Deathstroke and Bane movie, and it's like,
Okay,
it's just
who
like,
show of hands on that one?
it's like,
Who asked?
why is
Bane and
bro?
Deathstroke. We're
First of
fast
all,
tracking that one.
first of all,
Wait. We were gonna release Batman, but let's fast track. Hold on.
first of all,
We're really prioritizing the right things.
I really need to talk to James. I need to be like, James, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to not perpetuate the lie that Deathstroke is a Batman villain. I really need your help because I can't deal with
Oh, he's not,
I
bro.
can't deal with the LARPers
You know
thinking that
he's
Deathstroke
not.
is a
Just
Batman villain.
fucking
because actually I don't know why it pisses me off so much, but it
I
physically
say, like,
it
he is a
pisses.
Batman villain. Like,
He's
he
not.
is, but he is.
He
You know
is
what I
not a
mean?
Batman villain. He has
Well, yeah,
fought
he's
Batman like 3 times. He is not a
right.
Batman villain. Okay,
I mean,
he
you're
is.
right. You're right.
He is a Teen Titans villain. Okay,
Right. Correct.
those are his
Yes.
people. That's who
Yeah.
Slade runs his hands with, bro. Like those are his ops. Okay,
You're
N-
forgetting a crucial detail, Michael. He's
Slade
cool.
Slade is Nightwing's villain, if anybody.
Right.
Like
Correct. Yeah, that's what I would. Yeah, if you had to
Slade
attribute it to one
Slade
person.
Slade has more interactions and more one-on-one fights and more emotional like conflict
Development. Or
with
yeah,
with
conflict. Sure.
with Beast Boy than he does with Batman. Okay, it's like Deathstroke's not a Batman villain. Please stop. What we need to stop this
Yeah.
right now. Okay.
But he's cool, Michael. And what if it'd be a lot cooler if Batman fought him?
No,
If
it
we're
wouldn't.
being honest, well, I don't have to make the Teen Titans. That saves a lot of fucking time.
They're making that movie too, though.
Yeah. Oh well. Okay. Now I'm
They're
closer to your side.
they're making a Teen Titans movie. They've announced that already as well. And I'm like,
I mean, I'm
okay,
already on your side. But
why
the
is
Deathstroke
Deathstroke hanging out with Bane? First of all, they're not friends. You know how often? You know
that
how
is crazy.
I have
That is
literally,
crazy.
I have literally never. I'm sure it's happened before. All right, but I have literally never seen Bane and Deathstroke in the same room in every comic book
And
I've
that's
ever
why
read.
you're gonna have to tune in. It's gonna be that interesting
Bane
how
doesn't.
these pair got together.
Bane would just kill Deathstroke. Okay, that's what would happen. All right, and I don't like Deathstroke is cool. Bane would destroy Deathstroke
He
in
is
a fight.
cool.
Okay, I need everyone
Don't
to accept that
deny
and
that.
move on. All right. When Bane shows up in Gotham, every other villain in Gotham is like, "Yes, sir, Mr. Bane. What do you want?" That's the level of villain Bane is when it comes to Batman. Like everybody in Gotham just immediately, not just criminals, like not regular street criminals, everybody, including like Joker, is like, yeah, we're gonna work for him while he's in town. We're not gonna fuck with Bane. That's crazy, because Bane will just kill you. Like, and
Right.
and I'm like, what? So it's like, especially because like, what's this movie gonna be, bro? Because if it's Deathstroke hunting Bane, fuck you, bro. Like,
Ooh, very possible, extremely possible plot.
make Bane look. If they're against each other, Bane needs to be the protagonist because I need Bane to win that confrontation.
I bet they're not against each other. Maybe they are, but I bet they're not. My gut feeling tells me that they're like every movie. You know what I'm going to say. They're against each other in the first 15, 20, whatever you want to call it, minutes, and then they're together fighting a common enemy, of course, the rest of the way.
Now, okay.
And they just happen to find each other, you know? Just bumped into each other.
Now, they could do something that would genuinely be cool. Even though I'll still hate it because it would perpetuate the whole Deathstroke being a Batman villain thing. A really cool way they could frame it is if it's a Deathstroke and Bane movie, and Batman is the antagonist of the movie.
So that was also something that came to mind.
That could be fire, because if you never see it from Batman's point of view and he's just like this demon that they're hunting, that could be awesome. Right. But like,
you're a little optimistic. I think that would be cool.
There's no way it's gonna be that cool though. Like,
yeah, I think there's like a more than like 10-20% chance that could happen. I think it's pretty low.
The real issue though is it's like, if we're doing this Clayface movie, right? And the Clayface movie is gonna be the first thing chronologically in the DCU because it's like way back when he first becomes Clayface, like before Batman's even a thing or whatever, I guess.
Yeah.
And but anyway, so we're doing this Clayface movie, and then we're doing the Deathstroke and Bane movie, and it's like, why are we doing Batman villain movies and not a Batman movie? That's weird.
We're just oiling you up, I guess. I don't know. That is weird.
Like if there was a Batman movie and then you did a Bane movie because you just wanted to show like from his point of view or whatever, it'd be like, okay, it's weird to do a Bane movie like where he's the protagonist, but it could be cool. But it's weird to do it without Batman being established yet in the DCU. Like, other than the fact that in Creature Commandos, I think, is the only reference we've had to Batman where like one of those characters mentions that they were captured and the reason they're in jail is because Batman caught them. And so it's like that's it. And they did show him like
He
not they
exists.
showed Batman like in animated form, you know, like up on a he was up on like a whatchamacallit, like a the glass ceiling things or whatever those are called. That you know, like
Yeah,
the ceilings,
yeah.
the glass
Skylight.
skylight. That's right. Yeah. So he's up on a skylight, and that's like the one image of Batman so far in the DCU. That's like DCU Batman, and it's like beyond that though, we haven't seen Batman, and so it's like it's just why are we doing a Bane movie, especially because like, and you can't just keep being like, oh, we're gonna keep doing origin movies for Batman's villains that take place before Batman existed. That's fucking dumb. It's like
That's a little, yeah.
it's like it's why I don't want to talk about the second Joker movie, but it's why Joker doesn't it's why Joker should have been a standalone thing that was like a facsimile of
Yeah,
Joker
just
and
the
wasn't
one.
trying to be
Just the
him.
one movie.
Because the first Joker movie, it's like obviously
It works great.
it's not
It's a great
really,
movie.
and you can easily, you know, in your head you could be like, okay, I like that they're kind of trying to capture the potential psychology of Joker, but that's clearly not really Joker because this world doesn't really fit that.
It's a different vibe for sure.
Whereas the second movie is like, oh yeah, this is. I mean, it's not Joker. They were that's the whole thing that pissed everyone off is they were like, oh yeah, no, Arthur Fleck is just not fucking Joker at all. He's just dead. Fuck that guy. And it's like
Yeah.
okay, but 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 it's weird to do like Batman or any villain origin movie. It's kind of like when they did like the Venom movies without Spider-Man in any of them, and it's
Yeah.
just like it's like the only way it works
Yeah.
is by making Venom the hero, because if the reason Venom exists is because he bonds to Spider-Man and Spider-Man rejects him and he turns evil because of it, and it's like, so if you don't have that, then you have to make up a bunch of shit or omit things, and then it's like, okay, this isn't really Venom though. It's like a guy that looks like Venom but isn't Venom at all personality wise. And it's kind of like, what are you gonna do with like, because like, what's the Clayface? 'Cause I'm worried like the Clayface movie. It's like he's obviously can't fight anybody because like no one, if he exists before Batman, no one can beat Clayface
Stopping him.
in a pre-superhero world. Like, so it's just kind of
Yeah.
like, what's he gonna do? Is he just gonna be like,
Oh, he's just gonna fucking kill people, I guess.
yeah? I'm like, if you're just gonna make it the whole movie about him learning to use his powers and like being traumatized by the fact that his whole body basically disintegrates when he's not thinking, like when he's not focusing or whatever.
Yeah,
It's like,
that's definitely gonna be
and obviously
huge.
they're going for like the body horror element thing. So it's like,
1000%. I would bet on it as well.
so it's like, sure, maybe that could be the whole movie, but also that's a really weird thing to do with a supervillain. If you're
Agreed.
especially if you're gonna have,
I think they're wasting their time.
yeah,
I also think that's the best version of that movie they could probably make.
yeah.
In some ways, like,
But it also will clash with like if you see Clayface in a Batman movie and he's Clayface and he's a supervillain who turns into a giant clay monster and Batman's like punching the clay monster. It's like that tone is not going to match this body horror thing of when he becomes Clayface at all. It's just going to be like, that's not the same guy, even though it is the same guy.
I think they're willing to do that. I think they're willing to intentionally do that, and I do think it's just a complete waste of time. Just you don't need to give Clayface the movie.
Yeah, and it's also just like no one gives a fuck about Clayface. Okay,
That's the
it's
problem.
like
Clayface, at least.
Clayface is kind of cool, but like bottom tier of Batman villains for sure. Like if I had to,
I wouldn't have him.
If I had to rank all of like the big Batman, he might be last.
D tier, probably. D tier, potentially. I'd have to think about it.
He might be last actually. If now that I'm thinking about it, if all of Batman's like,
all of that,
he's not last. Firefly sucks. He's not last. But
true.
Firefly's lame.
Would it not the Electrocutioner?
No, Electrocution might be last. He's a joke. Yeah. Oh,
he's literally a joke.
Literally, yeah. Even in Origins, he was a joke.
Yeah.
hilarious. That part of that game was
A
funny
great
though.
joke, an awesome joke.
Yeah, but still,
Best part of Origins Saturday.
Clayface has got to be like bottom 5 Batman villains. Maybe the top of the bottom 5, but still bottom 5. Like it's just a weird villain to do. Um, like if you were gonna do a like Poison Ivy, that would be fucking cool. I would watch that movie.
Oh, sure. Who wouldn't?
Not that I'm not gonna watch Clayface, but you know what I mean. Uh,
Yeah, it's not. I think it's but like, there's a lot there.
yeah. A Mr. Freeze movie where he's the good, like the protagonist, that would fucking cook, bro.
Yeah,
That would be so sick.
I think I think it's possible they could do something like that. Like I could see that. I think that's within the realm of James Gunn, but
Yeah, and I mean, even
I don't know if he's smart enough to do it.
even like Bane and Deathstroke, it's like I'm down for a Bane movie, 100%.
Or yeah,
But like, it just feels weird that they're doing multiple Batman villains before Batman's ever a thing, and also I don't like Deathstroke being involved.
yeah, Deathstroke and being involved actually doesn't make any sense.
I really hope.
I feel like it could potentially hurt their bottom line.
You know what
too.
could be cool though is if they use it as like a Deathstroke origin and have it be that like Bane absolutely destroys him, and then that's when Deathstroke gets the super soldier serum that gives him his powers and stuff. Is like to make him not die from Bane almost killing him. That could be that could be decent. That could be a decent way to do it where it's not like
why does it exist?
Yeah.
To give Deathstroke an origin and
yeah,
I guess introduce Bane.
Gave them both an origin, I guess, outside of Batman, which like neither of them need Batman for their origin necessarily. But I mean, Deathstroke
Bane's
definitely doesn't.
Exposition in your situation, Bane, which I don't completely disagree with either, like in terms of being possible, you'd have Bane's shit probably just exposition dumped his origin, and then he's just there with Deathstroke, and then it's a Deathstroke movie, and then they're both. It still kind of works. Probably they could do a little bit more Bane stuff. Who could play out that way.
Because I mean, there's not really much to Bane. Like Bane, he's just a guy that likes.
Yeah,
to
I was gonna say they can't really dedicate that much time to it.
Yeah, like Bane just
if they chose to.
Bane just likes to throw hands. There's not really much more to Bane than.
I think to some extent, like if you're not going to give him a standalone movie, partially maybe due to that reason, then I mean, first off, you should consider a movie where, like, basically like Dark Knight Rises, where you just give him, a movie.
Yeah.
It's a Batman movie, and he's the guy. Like that would be the way to do "quote unquote" a Bane movie. So if you're not going to do that, then you don't even need to give. You could have Bane show up. We get it. Like that's one character that kind of could work with.
Yeah. As long as Bane
and you just show their characterization.
Yeah. As long as Bane actually has Venom in this version.
You would need. I think that would be necessary to tell that story without telling the story. Like if you're gonna not tell the story, like I said, like you need to have Venom be like thrown in your face.
Yeah.
A little bit.
But I'm even in like this in the Bane and Deathstroke movie that they're doing. Like, this man better.
Well, I agree. That's what I'm saying. Like you would need it. I think it needs to be in this movie.
I guess
otherwise you're going to be worried about the depiction of Bane.
Yeah. They could,
or like he maybe discovers that maybe there's some sort of relation between the serums that could be
yeah. That's what I was just gonna say is they could do it like a dual origin, I guess. Have it be like it's Bane getting Venom for the first time and Deathstroke getting the super soldier serum for the first time or the only time, whatever. But like I guess they could do both, but because those things like obviously the Deathstroke stuff is independent of Batman, but like Bane does not create Venom like for Batman or whatever. Like he creates Venom for himself.
Yeah, for himself.
Before he ever learns of Batman or is like, I'm gonna go kill Batman or whatever. So I don't know.
Yeah, wasn't he literally just using it to get an advantage in his fights and then he got addicted and then, like, isn't that basically the story?
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, Bane just wanted to be the strongest fighter, so he was like, I need a way to make sure that I'm always the strongest, so he created one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Just
I mean, we're being generous though. Like that would be great. That's not what's gonna fucking happen. Probably. I hope something like that happens, but I'm better in a state of worry than of optimism for a movie like that.
I have a question for you though. So like the Batman movie that supposedly is in development, but like we don't know when it's coming out, is the Brave and the Bold, I guess is what
Sure.
they're calling it.
Yeah, I
And
think I hear that too.
and Batman clearly already exists in the DCU. Like they've established that that's a thing. Um,
Mm.
and so which Robin would you want for him to be at as far as like how far in
In
the
his
yeah,
evolution of
how
Robin's
far in the timeline
is
would you want it to be?
I mean, I think if it's at I think there is a wrong answer here, but there could be multiple right answers. Like if it's at the end of Dick Grayson, Tim Drake started to, like I think nothing wrong with that. You could definitely go that direction. I think beyond Drake would be like I'd be questioning why. Also, I feel like it would present some logistical problems in the universe at that point as well.
Jason is
Like
second.
there's too much you have to explain potentially. I guess they could always just throw in a Robin and just use a name and you're just like, well, that's the Robin we're using, guys. But like, I don't know.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people saying that they want it to be like starting with Jason as Robin,
Yeah,
just so that
yeah.
like
Yeah, Jason could also work.
have it start. I've seen people. I saw one person specifically say that they would think it would be cool if they start with Jason as the Robin, and then have like a Batman trilogy cover the entire like Red Hood origin.
Mm. But they're not going to do that
I mean, they
because,
could
well, okay, they could.
like have
I don't think they would because they would want more villains.
sure. No, I mean like you'd probably have like
More focus is what I mean.
yeah,
Really, like
you might
the more
yeah
diversification.
you might have to spread it out over more than 3 movies, like the Red Hood thing.
Yeah,
Like you might have to be like Jason as Robin in like the first movie, and then he dies at the end of the second movie, and then
just because you do have to make these movies with like bigger villains, like you feel like they just kind of have to exist. So where do
right,
you find the time?
right,
You can still do it. I do agree.
and then like maybe have it be like the fifth Batman movie, assuming you get that far, is when he
Right.
comes back as Red Hood.
Yeah. Yeah. It could be Jason Todd. I could see them going with Jason Todd. For some reason, I didn't even think about him, but um, yeah. I mean, if they do it does. I think if you do Jason Todd and you just kind of start hinting at the Red Hood stuff, that could be interesting.
Yeah,
I would, again, just putting myself in their shoes, or at least trying to. Already, it could pretend like just thinking about those implications. Like, would you basically have to kind of commit to that if you're going to do multiple Batman movie? You're picking the Robin, right? So you're committing. You're making some sort of intermediate to long term commitment, at least on the Robin. You would assume, or at least on this version of Batman. So you would kind of have to address the Red Hood stuff. So do you want to do that? Then that's when you would pick Jason Todd. I think in many situations you'd go with something simpler,
yeah.
realistically.
I've seen
Like
some.
they just knowing it wouldn't present as much problems.
I've seen some people say that they want to that they would like for it to start like with Dick becoming Robin, and literally just do the
Wow.
entire like do the Bat family like throughout the entire DCU like as it goes. And I'm like
Okay.
that would be cool. Like that would
I like
honest
that.
that would be the that would be the best thing, but that is a long time that you're gonna have to commit.
Yeah, and
Like
that's the problem.
that's like 10 Batman movies worth of shit you're gonna have to get through in the same
But it
continuity.
also kind of depends on the time jump. Like what time jump are they going to be really
Sure.
like trying to represent?
But I don't
And
think
that's
they're.
going to be your answer too.
I don't think they will do time jumps. That's the issue because it's all like one big
Well, okay,
interconnected
you know what I mean
universe.
by time jump though, but like what I mean is like at what point are we hopping in? What does the movie start
Sure, sure, sure.
chronologically exactly? Is going to be interesting. Like this, literally the setting, the time setting is going to be interesting.
Right. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I guess like they could theoretically have the first Batman movie take place in the past instead of having it take place in the present, like where Superman takes place and stuff like that.
Right. I mean, yeah, it could go multiple directions. I mean, I think at the end of the day, if they get Batman right, at least mostly in the broad strokes, like say like Superman doesn't even have to necessarily be as good as Superman, but just like, you would hope it would be. But as long as it's somewhere between Supergirl and Superman, I think you'd be happy overall,
Yeah.
or content, I should say, at least with the direction. Then like continuing with that with whatever their plans are. You could just get there eventually. If you're gonna print money off of Batman, then you got the Jason Todd stuff. I would say kind of deep in the bag, but towards the close to the surface, you get Tim Drake and Dick Grayson, and you're just gonna use Jason Todd. You're just gonna use these guys eventually.
Yeah. I do think like whoever it was that said that they wanted it to be Jason Todd, so they do like the Red Hood thing and have that be like the opener for like DCU Batman. They have a point because I think if you're gonna do like the Red Hood origin is probably the best Robin story you could do. That spans a massive amount of time. Like, not that like because not that Dick Grayson or
I was gonna say Dick has got to be up there,
yeah, but like
but
the
after he's
the
Nightwing, I mean,
emotion,
it's
yeah,
not.
yeah,
There's not a lot
the
that
emotional
happens.
weight
To be
though,
fair,
yeah, the emotional weight though of like Dick Grayson becoming
it's
Robin and
different.
becoming Nightwing, it's like it's not.
Different than what
It's
Jason
it's
Todd
not
went
it's
through.
not as good as the Red Hood origin. Like it's great, but like the Red Hood origin is fucking peak. Um,
Right. Yeah.
so I do get it from that perspective, but that is kind of like a crazy spot to jump into.
Yeah. It feels just unlikely. I like where his head's at from the sense of like, I mean, if they did, again, I just think there's too many things against the tide here in terms of them not doing it. But if they did it, could be awesome. And like the fact specifically, if you take away everything other than the fact that like having a nice 2 or 3 movie like story that's contiguous and you're not going to fuck up for the most part because it's just so the story again the broad strokes are pretty much just in stone. Yeah, you could fuck it up, but probably not. Um, could be a great result, but like you just can't. You also just can't do it now. You
Yeah,
just can't.
yeah. I do think probably starting with Dick or Jason is probably best because part of me kind of wants it to just like start with it already being Damien, so that I don't have to wait like a decade to see the whole Bat family come to fruition. But like
But you're
at this
yeah,
at the same time, it would be very difficult, I think, for casuals to throw them in
for sure.
and be like, okay, so Nightwing and Red Hood and Batgirl and Red Robin and fucking Oracle and all these people
Yeah,
already exist
right.
and have none of their how they got to that point explained until
Mm.
like backstory
See,
stuff or
that's when you
flashbacks
get
or whatever.
like
Because casuals would be like, "What the fuck? I've never." Because casuals don't
you're right.
to this day, casuals do not understand how many Robins there are, or like the fact that Robin is not one character, and like that there's even
Right.
Batgirl. There's like three of them. Like there's not just one Batgirl.
Well, you know what would fix that, Michael? If you had the or you had an unnamed character narrating at the beginning to tell us all of that, and then we don't have to see him. It doesn't matter, but then you do that, then it's done. That's
It,
like 5 minutes. Imagine how much money that just saved the DCU.
if Batman's talking to his therapist about it, then it's cool.
Let's be honest, Batman would not be seeing a therapist at this level if he does end up ever seeing a therapist.
True, true. If Batman's already got the whole family, he doesn't need therapy anymore. They've got that shit covered.
Yeah, yeah. But hey, that could solve it, man. They just throwing. Oh, they could, hey, you never know. They could pull like a Borderlands shit and just,
I will
quick
say,
spotlight.
actually, you know what? I think I changed my mind. I think I want it to. I think I want it to start with it being like right after Dick has become Robin, and the reason is because I really don't want Batman and Superman to be separated by like a massive age/experience difference, because it's just weird when Superman is like the young new hero and Batman is like super experienced, like way more experienced than him and has been doing it for like 10 years or whatever. And also,
Usually it feels like the what happens, the how it
yeah,
plays out.
in movies and stuff, sure. But like,
Yeah,
especially like, the Snyder stuff, that was the case.
right.
Which,
Very
that's,
obvious.
which don't do that,
But that was also like
lesson learned.
intentionally part of the
Right.
storyline, more or less. Like it just serviced to that.
Right. And people did not like that shit. Just so everyone remembers,
Yeah.
BVS is terrible. Don't do it. Okay. Um, but but like in the comics and stuff, and the reason for Dick Grayson though too is because like Superman and Batman become friends when Dick is still Robin, and then like Robin is also friends with Superman. Like Dick is friends with Superman when he's younger.
Yeah.
So like, and Dick choosing the name Nightwing is directly tied to Superman. So
Yeah.
it would be kind of lame to leave that out. And
I mean, I could see them leaving that out.
yeah,
That part out.
but it's lame. They shouldn't do it. You don't have
Agreed.
if you don't have to do it, which they don't, you shouldn't do it because it's the
Right.
coolest thing ever. Because otherwise, like having it be
It
like,
is cool.
oh, I chose the name Nightwing because I chose the name Nightwing. It's like boring,
They're not gonna.
stupid.
I think in a situation where they don't show it, they're just not gonna address it, and they just be like,
Sure, sure,
Nightwing.
sure. But if they do show it, I'm saying like I'm saying like
Well, I agree with
I
that.
want them to
Yeah.
start with him being Robin so that they can show it. And they can show the fact that he was friends with Batman and Robin in the early days and stuff like that. Cause that shit is just the best. Like there's an ongoing comic right now, World's Finest, and that's literally just like what it is Superman and Batman when they're like, not year one, but like year 3, 4, whatever. And it's just Superman, Batman, and Robin hanging out basically, and it's the fucking best. And
Yeah.
um, and it's just kind of like, okay, please only do this forever, like, it, but yeah, I think that'd be cool. But yes, the Nightwing thing, it's just like Nightwing choosing the name Nightwing because he's like he's having doubts about like the mission, like Batman's mission, and he doesn't want to become Batman, and he doesn't know if there's a future for him where he doesn't become Batman because he's raised by Batman. And then Superman is like tells him the story about the Kryptonian vigilante named after a Kryptonian god, which is Nightwing, and then how that vigilante is very similar to what Batman and Robin do, but he was like a symbol of hope and not of fear and stuff like that. And then Robin, Dick Grayson, is like, I have a great idea. And then
Wait,
he takes the name
is
Nightwing.
that mean?
Yeah.
What? Say that again.
Yeah, literally. Say that again. And then Dick is like Nightwing fits the theme and I like the story Superman told me, so that's my new name. And then that's when he goes off and starts doing his own thing. And it's just like that is the best. And it would be very much
That would be
it would be
cool.
a
They're not
shame
gonna
to
show it.
not have that happen.
They're not. It's not gonna be in
They
there.
should
But
though.
it would be cool. I agree.
They should do it. If they
Ain't
don't do
fucking
it,
happening.
then they're fucking lame.
It's like, yeah, I doubt. I doubt they're. That'd be cool though. It'd be cool. It's gonna be like 3, 4 hours long anyways. I bet 30. I guess you just throw that in.
Yeah.
Who fucking cares? It's not like you're worried about runtime.
Yeah, make it a 4 hour movie, and so you have plenty of time
I
for
mean, it's
everything.
gonna be whatever the first cut of the movie is. I would bet everything I own that it's 2 hours 30 minutes or longer, and it's probably north of that. If I had to guess. Now, yeah, I could be wrong. Maybe they'll be efficient.
Yeah, I mean that's so far.
Definitely like 215
Yeah,
plus.
it is kind of annoying though. Like the first two movies, both Superman and Supergirl, are like right around 2 hours long, and I'm like, I'm gonna need you to cut that shit out immediately. Um,
Oh, yeah, I didn't even notice that. Maybe that's a trend. Maybe that things are changing.
yeah, but I need that. Yeah, pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers, okay? Like it worked for Superman, fine, whatever. And it doesn't. I don't think the runtime really changes much for Supergirl either way. But um,
It probably honestly works for Supergirl too in this
yeah,
case,
yeah,
just
yeah.
because of the scope of the story. But like, and you hope that those are the reasons. Because I mean, it's James Gunn. I mean, he's got a bit of a he's got a bit of a reputation, right? Of the Guardians movies, I felt like were long.
Let's see. I don't think they're super long, but yeah, I think they are. I
Misremembering.
think they're a
I'm
little
just
bit
thinking like
long.
2 hours plus, like
Yeah, yeah.
comfortably.
I
Like
think I would guess like 2.5. Let's see.
probably at least 210, 220 plus.
Guardians of the Galaxy. What it is?
Guardians 2 is 2 hours 17.
Guardians 1 is exactly 2 hours.
Okay, but Guardians 3, 2 hour 30 minutes.
That's more like it. Let's
So it
do
just goes up every fucking
yeah,
movie.
let's do Guardians 3 length, okay? Though like that should be the average. 2.5 hours is solid, I think,
Yeah.
for a superhero movie in general.
Well, especially if you're getting the main now, should the should the Deathstroke and Bane movie be fucking 2 hours? No,
No.
please
That could be like
save
an
us
hour
from that
45,
fucking
honestly.
shit. Yeah, and it's gonna be 2 hours, but yeah, should be an hour 45, probably realistically.
Yeah.
But if we're talking big dick swingers like Batman and Superman, honestly, probably should have been longer. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, more 2 hours plus is the min, but like you probably should be realistically like 2 hours, 10, 15 minutes or longer, like should be kind of the minimum for your big movies. Like unless okay, again, if you're telling like a very limited scope story, but like otherwise you probably have a lot to cover.
Yeah. I'm kind of hoping that Superman 2 is like 3 hours long. like like if
No,
we're
it's probably gonna be like this. Superman 2 will be, like I said, like 2 hours 15, 2 hours, 10. And then Superman 3, that might be 2.5 hours long. If it follows the James Gunn,
sure.
trilogy, whatever. Also, just like it kind of conceptually makes sense that you'd add more information and you'd be more confident to make longer movies anyways.
Right, yeah.
I don't hate that. And people loved Guardians 3. I guess so did I. I fucking watched it.
Guardians 3
Just
was
surprising
peak.
the reviews. Because Guardians 2, I did not resonate as much with me, personally.
That's definitely the weakest of the three.
Okay, it kind of looks like that too. There's some reviews. Now you better watch out. The next thing you know, you're gonna get. Hey, if James Gunn if they had the same philosophy at the MCU, James Gunn would be making a fucking origin movie for every member of the Guardians, man. That's what we'd get. We would get for every fucking one of them. The Groot movie you knew was coming, but the Yondu movie, you never know. There's gonna be a fucking Rocket movie. There's gonna be a Drax movie.
Um, I think there are like 10 different versions of her. I think there's technically more, but there's like one from like a kid show that's like DC superhero girls or something like that, which I'm not counting that because that's not like narrative,
Yeah,
it's like yeah, that doesn't count.
yeah.
Um, And I think there's like a handful of other DC shows that I haven't seen, like cartoons and stuff from like the mid
Yeah, kid shows though.
2000s or whatever. But but I've seen most versions of her. So like all the versions that there are before I rank them are Arrowverse Supergirl, so the
Okay.
CW Supergirl. And I'm
Oh, she'll
okay.
be high, I'm
And
sure.
I'm ranking these on like how well the character is portrayed, not necessarily how good the shows that they were in are.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, yeah. True to character. Okay. Fair
So
enough.
Arrowverse Supergirl, Smallville Supergirl, the Supergirl movie from 1984, which is terrible. Don't watch it. Um,
Is it so bad it's good though?
no, it's so bad it's bad.
Oh no.
People who think
That's
that
nice.
this Supergirl movie was bad should go watch that, and then they'll be thankful that this exists. Uh, then the new Supergirl, Supergirl from Justice League show, DCAU
Mm,
Supergirl, the My Adventures with Superman Supergirl. There's a animated movie Superman Unbound that has Supergirl in it, and then another animated movie Superman Batman Apocalypse that has Supergirl in it, and then Young Justice Supergirl, and oh, this one's not a TV show or movie. But I threw it in here because it's obviously the story is told in a cinematic fashion. But Injustice Supergirl.
okay.
So from I'll do bottom to top. Bottom of the
Yeah.
list by and the reason she's on the bottom of the list is Young Justice Supergirl, and
Oh.
the only reason though is because she's not really technically in the show. Because like I don't know if you remember, but I don't know
Oh
if did
yeah.
you watch season 3 and 4? You did, yeah, yeah. But
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
end of season 4, if you remember, at the like literally the last scene of the entire show before it got recanceled, which is hilarious. But is it cuts to Apocalypse and it's Mary Marvel has like, turned evil or whatever and she's on Apocalypse and she's Black Mary now and then it pans over after she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm a Fury of Apocalypse now. I'm going to help Darkseid take over Earth." It pans over and you see Supergirl also there and she is also a Fury of Apocalypse. And that's like the stinger ending of season 4 of Young Justice was that
Yeah.
Supergirl and Black Mary were both the new Furies of
Mhm.
Apocalypse and that they were going to be the leaders of Darkseid's army. And it was like, "Oh
Yeah.
shit, y'all might be fucked." um and then we never saw her ever again. I don't even think she speaks. She might say something like, like Lord Darkseid or whatever,
Right.
but that's
I don't know if it does.
at most she says something about like yes Lord Darkseid or whatever, but I don't think she speaks at all. So it's like she looked cool and her like she had like a black suit on, she looked black and red or whatever Darkseid colors, and
Yeah.
like it looked dope, but like there's nothing more to her, so I can't, default bottom of the list for that.
Yeah.
Uh, Ninth on the ranking is 1984 Supergirl because that movie's just fucking terrible. And I mean, she's just it's not I wouldn't necessarily like it's not like a horrendous like personification of the character. I guess like she's
Sure.
she's okay-ish at like she's like she is Supergirl like she's there and she's helping people and whatever. But
Right.
like
Doing Supergirl things.
it's just such a shallow, terrible version of it where it's just like, okay,
Mm.
no one even remembers the movie existed. It's so bad.
I certainly haven't heard of it.
Surprisingly, eighth on the list is Smallville. It's not really surprising if you've seen Smallville, but Smallville Supergirl is eighth, and it's mostly because Supergirl in Smallville isn't really Supergirl. Like she is Supergirl, like she's the same character and everything. But because Smallville
Yeah.
is a long origin story type thing, nobody
Yeah.
really becomes who they are until like the very end of the show.
Right.
And so she doesn't really have a suit. Like she's got clothing that's Supergirl color schemed, but it's not a
Okay.
Supergirl suit. Like they all do. Like
Yeah.
in throughout the show, Clark's always wearing like a red jacket with a
Yeah.
blue t-shirt or whatever. So it's like
Right. Yeah.
you get
Yeah.
the idea. And that's like Kara
Right.
wears the same shit in the show. Like she's got like a blue shirt and like a red skirt on all the time, and it's like okay, I like we get it, but beyond that, that doesn't have anything to do with her characterization. Like she's characterized pretty decently, but there's just not really enough of her because the season that she's a part of is season 7, and there's a lot of stuff with like Lex and Bizarro that not doesn't clash with her character arc in the sense of like making it bad, but like it just gets in the way. Like the Bizarro stuff is way better than the Supergirl stuff,
Yeah. It's
and
not. Is it related or is it not that
no, it's
related?
not related, and it's way better, and it easily overshadows the Supergirl stuff. So she's like not even really in the whole season 7, and then at the end of season 7, she kind of leaves, and she shows up in a couple other episodes throughout the rest of the show. But she's mostly just there to be like hey, Clark, if you just believe or not believe in yourself, but like if you accept the fact because that's like a big thing in the final few seasons is that Clark struggles a lot. Or I mean, it's a big thing throughout the entire show, but he starts to address it more in the final seasons, which is the fact that he's always been very resistant when it comes to accepting the fact that he's not human and like embracing the Kryptonian heritage thing. And Supergirl's
Makes sense.
presence in the show is basically just being like the reason you can't fly yet and the reason you don't have like full access to like your powers and everything is because you aren't willing to accept who you are yet. So that's like why she's in the show is to show him
Mm.
what he's capable of if he accepts who he is because she can fly and do everything because she doesn't have any problem with accepting who she is. And so like that part is interesting, but she doesn't really do much other than be like the better version of Clark
Yeah.
that's just kind of trying to help him a little bit. And like I said, she gets overshadowed by Bizarro heavily. Um, and then she's only in that season, and she's not even in every episode of that season.
Yeah.
And then after that, I have Superman Unbound. I don't actually remember that movie super well, but I do know I remember like that movie's just kind of like a snapshot of like a random point in the comic book timeline. It's just like it's a random Brainiac encounter story. Like Brainiac shows up, does some stuff, Superman beats him, the end. And Supergirl's just part of that story, so it's just very much standard Supergirl doing standard Supergirl stuff. But there's not like a whole lot. Like she doesn't have like any crazy shit going on in the arc or whatever. So
Right.
she's Supergirl exactly the way you
Memorable.
imagine her. But like she doesn't have an arc or anything. She's just being Supergirl.
Okay.
And then I have Injustice Supergirl after that because even though Injustice is stupid a lot of the time, they do kind of nail
True.
Supergirl in the second game as far as like her becoming the new Superman and replacing Clark, obviously, given the fact that he's evil and stuff like that. And like she feel like they do a good job of having her feel like she still behaves the same way Supergirl should behave and like she becomes a hero and stuff like that in especially once she learns the truth about like what the regime did and like what Superman did and everything. And she's like, so y'all were lying and you're definitely fucking evil and I'm definitely joining the Justice League and stopping y'all because that's crazy. But yeah, so
Yeah.
I just like that the arc that they gave her where she initially is super protective of Superman because that was why she was sent to Earth in the first place. And then
Yeah.
once she learns the truth about the regime, she's like, "Oh, okay. So you don't need protection. You need to be stopped because you're fucking crazy." And
That's nice.
yeah. So there's that. And then after that I have the new Supergirl in the middle because all right, that's number 5. Just cuz the only reason I don't have Injustice above the new one is just because of the world of Injustice fucking it up. Like
Yeah, it's just a lot to.
Even though Supergirl herself is really good at Injustice, I still have to count the world she's in a little bit, and the world she's in is dumb. So like, It's like you're a good Supergirl, but your whole storyline is wildly fucked up because you're in the Injustice universe. Um, but anyway, so DCU Supergirl is next at 5, and like I mean, she's fine. She's characterized decently enough, and she does get to like the whole. She has like her origin arc of like I don't want to be Supergirl, and then she ends with okay, fine, or not fine, but like okay, I'm ready to be Supergirl, and I'm like okay, cool, whatever. Seems like we're in a good place going forward.
Yep.
And then number 4 is My Adventures with Superman version of Supergirl because
Yeah, a lot of people like this.
dude, she's so. First of all, the show's great. Second of all, this super version of Supergirl is
Yeah.
just so good. They did like a really good twist with her too, where uh when she gets knocked off course or whatever, she ends up getting I can't remember where she crashes exactly, but she basically gets found by Brainiac, and Brainiac, instead of just capturing her and being like, oh, you're gonna, be trapped in a bottle now. Brainiac is like, I have an opportunity. And I can't remember how he does it, but he basically convinces Supergirl that he's on her side and that she should basically help him in his mission or whatever. I can't, there's some
Nice.
complicated stuff going on. But the point, Supergirl's a villain at the beginning because Brainiac finds her and basically raises her essentially, and is like, yeah, so we're on the same side, and your purpose is to help me conquer planets and shit. And Supergirl like thinks she's saving people or something. It's something like that where like Brainiac sends Supergirl to planets to like prepare them for his arrival essentially. And there's something to the effect of like Supergirl thinks she's going there to save those planets, and then
Yeah.
when Brainiac arrives, he's like, "Okay, thanks for preparing them and like eliminating their defenses." There's something to it where it's basically like where
Sure.
Brainiac is like, "You have to go there and take out their defenses because they won't because they'll attack us because they'll see us as a threat,
Yeah, on site. Yeah, we can't,
and
whatever.
so I won't be able to help them unless you do this." So she goes there, takes out their defenses, and then when Brainiac arrives, he's like, "Good job. Here's the next planet." She leaves, and then after she leaves, he just kills everybody. So she doesn't know that Brainiac is just wiping out planets. She thinks that she's like a harbinger for a savior, not a destroyer or something like that. And then
Yeah.
obviously she finds out because like Superman or Superman finds one of the planets that was completely annihilated, and they're like trying to figure out what happened, and then I think like a survivor of some place sees the symbol on his chest and is like terrified of it, and they're like, "Oh my god, blah blah blah," like the destroyer's back or whatever the case might be, and Superman's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And
Yeah.
and then he figures out that there's another Kryptonian doing crazy shit. So then when he finds her, he's like, you've been destroying planets, bitch," and she's like, "What are you talking about?" And then he like takes her back to one of them, and she's just like, "I don't understand, what happened, blah blah blah." So then she has like a dope like redemption arc thing where she helps them defeat Brainiac, and then she just becomes like normal Supergirl.
Yeah. Good.
And then yeah, and then I have Superman Batman Apocalypse Supergirl, which is basically like the it's when they redid Supergirl's origin in like the early 2000s or whatever, and made it the version where like she was sent to Earth to protect Superman as a baby, because that's not her original
Yeah.
origin. Her original origin is like it doesn't matter. So her new origin is the version that's in that movie, and that movie's based on the Superman Batman comic run of the time,
Mhm.
and it's a pretty solid adaptation of that origin story, and also Supergirl's hot in that movie, and
Nice.
and
Big win.
especially when she's on Apocalypse. Um, you should look it up. You should look up Supergirl's Apocalypse outfit. Type it in.
Is this live? Is this a live action
No, it's
movie?
animated.
What's it called again?
Superman. It's called Superman Batman Apocalypse, and Apocalypse is spelled correctly in the title. But if you just look
Yeah.
up Supergirl or Darkseid Supergirl Apocalypse, it should come up, something like that.
Oh, this is like the animated universe, whatever.
Yeah, yeah, the animated movies from like the mid 2000s.
Yeah, yeah, okay. You said what should I type in?
Darkseid Supergirl Apocalypse, oh, probably.
Or Dark Side
Yep,
Supergirl?
yeah, Darkseid Supergirl Apocalypse. Type that in.
I mean, is it in the white tank top? Is that what I'm looking at here? Or am I supposed to look at it something else? Hold on. I don't think this is what. Let me type it in again. Supergirl Apocalypse. Apocalypse. Apocalypse.
I would spell it. Type it in like Darkseid space Supergirl
Oh,
space Apocalypse and spell Apocalypse
okay,
like the
okay, okay.
planet.
Okay, spelled like the planet. Okay.
And then go to images. It should be like the
Apocalypse
first thing on there.
or whatever the fuck it is. I think I know what you're referring to now. It's like fucking some goth girl shit or
Yeah, it
something. I
is.
don't I don't I'm trying to think of like it's thinking of a different term than that, but
Yeah,
or a better
if you scroll
analogy,
down
I
on the
guess.
images, there's a bunch of
She's like
different.
literally a succubus is actually what's
Yep,
going on
that's
here.
pretty much what happened. Darkseid was mind controlling the shit out of her.
Yo, that's kind of fucking crazy. Damn, they doing this shit in the early 2000s. What were they
Mm, mm,
thinking,
mm,
man?
mm.
What were they thinking?
But
And
yeah,
this is not at the top.
it's not at the top. It's not
It's
at the
not
top.
even in the top three.
She is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, this is three. This is three right here.
Oh, it's three. Sorry.
But no,
Okay, deservedly so, I suppose.
yeah, the outfit is carrying a lot. No, she's she's not wearing that outfit for very long, honestly.
I don't doubt it.
But no, I mean, I think this is probably the best version on screen of like the whole like what the movie was like this new movie was trying to do of like she gets to Earth, but she's not like angsty and angry about it. She's just kind of like when she gets to Earth and realizes that like her whole mission of protecting her baby cousin is irrelevant. She is just kind of like, okay, well, I just kind of want to learn to live here and blend in and stuff. And Batman and Superman are like, you can't just go out in public because you don't know how to control your powers and you might hurt somebody and stuff like that. So that's like a big part
Right.
of it. And then the whole movie, she's basically kind of like, I don't want to have like the pressure of being a superhero and being everyone's protector like you do. And then because of the stuff that goes on in the movie, by the end of it, she's like, okay, I get it. And like, I want to be Supergirl.
Yeah.
And it's just done in a very good way, I think. And her personality and stuff like that is just it's very I'd say it's pretty extremely comic accurate. Out of everything so far, it's probably the most comic accurate to her personality. As
Yeah.
far as like there's no crazy like evil stuff at the beginning and there's no like manipulation or like her being wildly out of character or like super angsty
Yeah,
and
not
depressed.
distorting the
Yeah.
the recipe, so to
And
speak.
even like the part of the story where she is temporarily evil, it's not really her. It's she's being mind controlled by Darkseid, and 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 whatnot. So yeah, I don't know. I just like that version of her. It's pretty good. And then
Nice.
number two is going to be Arrowverse because despite the Arrowverse, and its failure,
Despite the Arrowverse, that's all you have to really say, I
despite the
think.
Arrowverse, the way Supergirl is characterized in that show is just extremely, extremely accurate to how
Crazy because
Supergirl
I
is.
definitely never got that far, I don't think.
What, like watching Supergirl?
Watching anything with Supergirl in it, I never watched enough Arrowverse to
Oh yeah, I wouldn't imagine so.
get to that point where Supergirl was like a show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you definitely stopped before Supergirl was a show. That's for sure. Um, but yeah, no, I mean, like that shows, it's mediocre. I mean, it's okay. Um, but the way that she's characterized is just wildly accurate to how you like how I imagine Supergirl, like from like or even like reading comics or whatever. It's just like how she behaves. It's just super, super.
For half the page.
Yeah, it's super on brand. Like the story, no, but like
But
Supergirl
her
herself,
characterization.
yeah, yeah,
Nice. Score one, and it might be one of the only ones for the Arrowverse.
yeah,
It's a short. It's
yeah.
not a lot of tallies there.
Yeah, there'd be very few lists where you see an Arrowverse thing in the top two of a ranking.
Yeah, true.
That's
And
that's
it's not some
that's
sort of inverted list
yeah,
like
yeah,
worst
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
pieces of garbage.
Show that fell off the hardest ranking. It's not that.
Worst CGI
Yeah, yeah,
in
yeah,
the modern era show with highest budget.
yeah. Worst costumes ranking. It'd be up there for some of them.
Shows that had a higher budget than Game of Thrones but were worse list.
But yeah, number one Supergirl is DCAU old Justice League show Supergirl.
And yeah, that feels like the right
I
answer.
don't have to justify that. That's just the DCAU version. There's not like I
Is there any character that
there's
that wouldn't be the
yeah,
case?
they're the best.
It's
If
DCAU. It's
DCAU is
number
number
one.
one for every DC character that was adapted in the DCAU.
Give me
Period.
fucking
End of
Plastic
story.
Man
Yeah,
number one.
yeah.
DC,
It
like,
doesn't.
give me
Yeah,
everybody.
it literally does not matter. If we're talking any movie, TV show,
Give me Question. Give me fucking
yeah.
whatever the
Oh yeah.
fuck, right?
Question.
Give me
Ooh,
literally every character
yeah,
and side character.
yeah. There's just if any character has ever been done in a movie or TV show of any
Riddler is
kind,
fucking awesome. By the way,
yeah, you
just a
just
side, just running through my head.
yeah, that's the best, and no one's ever gonna beat it, and I can accept that. It's a
Yeah, me
tragedy.
too,
It's a
man.
tragedy and a
It could be
gift.
at the, could be the king.
Yeah, it's
It
like
should be back. They should. God, it'd be so
if dude,
fucking cool if they brought
if
some.
they brought that show back, like how they brought back the old X-Men show, it would be over,
Yeah.
bro. It would be over.
Hey, wait 10 years. Actually, it would be longer than 10 years. Probably 10, 20 years.
No, I'm ready
If we want
now.
to get
I'm ready
closer.
now. Do it now. Bring it back. If they announce that
I just think
tomorrow,
a show like that would still be popular. Like I guess maybe it wouldn't be popular
it
with
would,
kids, but
dude. It would
like,
be
oh,
popular. There's no way it wouldn't be popular. You go
well, I would assume so, man. But who fucking knows what these kids are
if
watching?
you go watch the like Justice League Origins like 3 episode arc right now, that shit is generationally peak. Like it's so fucking good right
Cool.
away. It just like even just the opening, bro. Like that Justice League theme song plays, and you're just like, "Oh, this is about to be the best thing I've ever seen in my life." I might watch it after we're done recording. I'm not gonna lie.
Well,
Now I'm
dude, it's
like, and then like
oh
even like the whole opening sequence where it's just like it opens and Batman's in like the satellite facility or whatever, and he sees the random scientist pick up like a gigantic fucking like generator or something. And he's like, well, that's not right.
yeah,
He's like that doesn't seem right. And then he tries to fight them on the roof and gets his ass kicked. And Superman's like,
bro.
yo, you need help?
You all know something crazy about? I mean, it's hard to measure Justice League this show, but like season one, like pretty much all the episodes were in like the 7.5 to 7.9 category, and just as good as you described. And it starts to get noticeably better towards the end. Season two, like it's rare that you see it below 8, and it ends in the 9s, like crazy,
Yeah,
crazy. That's a lot of episodes. It's a ton of episodes.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And then you go to, oh my god, what is it? Let's
Don't
see.
even go to JLU,
Oh, I'm
man.
doing it. I'm going to it. It's the
Don't
best.
do it. It's probably disgusting, honestly. Well, let's see. It's top rated TV, as they say.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Season 2 is
Okay,
straight gas.
first season didn't start out as hot
Bro,
on average,
let's
but starts to pick up. Season two
season
is
2,
insane.
season 2, 10, 11, last 5 episodes, 9, 9, 9,
Yeah,
9.4, 9.3.
yeah. The last dude, yeah, that's so true, man.
Yeah, season.
But season two was so. I'm looking at all these episodes. I'm like, all these are
Yeah,
nines.
some of these being like a 7.9 or whatever. I'm like, y'all are crazy. That was a 10.
Like, okay, that ties that bind 7.4. I kind of get that. It wasn't a crazy interesting story, but
Kid stuff being a 7.9 is a crime in season 1.
yeah, I was gonna say that too. Like
That's actually
that's the
crazy.
one that jumps off the page for
Y'all
me
are
for
tripping,
sure.
bro. The Kid stuff episode was so good.
6.6, the least rated episode, season one. It's Hawk and Dove.
Yeah, which
I mean,
also
that's
is
very
which is also fucking
just
crazy.
racist, man.
Yeah, it's just crazy, bro.
I think it's definitely like no one gives a fuck about Hawk and Dove. Who the fuck are
Yeah,
these
sure,
people?
but like
But still,
Hawk and Dove and Wonder Woman fighting Ares, the fuck out of here. That shit was peak.
dude, I'm looking at these episodes that are 7.7, so I'm like, this is literally like an 8.7 episode min. I realize there's a lot of nostalgia, but like
It's not though.
oh,
It's not nostalgia. Go rewatch it. It's not nostalgia. I like that's the thing because you think in your
I
head,
mean, I will
you're
it's
in your head,
impossible for me to rate it.
bro. In your head,
Dark Heart is not a 7.6, bro.
which,
That's
which
insane.
episode is that?
It's the one with
Well, I meant like number.
Superman.
I was just gonna scroll
It's
to it.
oh sorry, it's season one, episode 10. There's no way this is a 7.6. I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah.
I just remember that being fucking cool.
I might watch this whole show tonight, even though that's temporarily impossible.
And the time travel shit was actually fucking gas.
I saw a clip earlier today of the episode in Justice League when they think that Superman dies to Toyman, and
Oh really? Wow.
Wonder Woman's about to like punch a hole through his head, and then Flash stops her and
Oh yeah.
is like, bro, and she's just like, I'm gonna, and she's like Wonder Woman's like crying, because I think he's dead, and she's like about to kill him, and then Flash is like, yeah, we don't do that, and she's like, I'm, whatever. She says something like, I'm doing it for Superman or whatever, and then Flash is like, I'm trying to speak for Superman, and this music's all somber and everything. And I was like, y'all about to make me watch this whole show right now. You can't just have a clip from like one of the best episodes of the entire fucking show just pop up on my YouTube feed like that. That's so disrespectful.
True.
Mm.
Yeah, there's a ton of high quality episodes here. We could do this all day though.
Yeah. God, the show's so good, man. You know what's you know what'll make you sad? They were originally. It might make you sad. It might make you be like, damn, because it's gonna make you like choose between the child you have and the hypothetical better child that you never got to have. Originally, they were gonna make the Teen Titans show part of this universe.
Holy fuck.
And then, for whatever reason, this universe ended. I can't remember what happened exactly, but then it ended up being its own thing where they like made it like the Teen Titans show that we got. And I was like, I don't want to know that because that's not information I want to know. Because now I'm just sitting here.
Yeah, I'm glad we got what we got. Although obviously, like, you could pick a different ending. You could pick it lasting for longer. And for those reasons, I think you have to consider. Holy shit! If it was part of the AU, man.
Oh my! It would have been so goated. I also,
dude, imagine one season, Michael. One season that the Teen Titans are. It's obviously not going to be every episode, but I'm just saying, like, one season where it's established that the Teen Titans are part of the Justice League would go crazy. Because then, Cyborg's going to be in like 30% of all episodes just for some tech bullshit. And Nightwing is obviously going to be in, he's probably going to have some good bit.
Yeah, yeah.
But just imagine like a mission with like Wonder Woman, fucking Hawk Girl, and Starfire. And they're just like, that'd be fucking awesome,
I honestly,
man.
a really funny episode they could do.
Raven.
They should do an episode. A really hilarious episode they could have done would have been like having like Beast Boy on a mission with like Wonder Woman.
Oh, dude.
And then Beast Boy the whole time. Bro, Beast Boy the whole time. Any female superhero in the Justice League, Beast Boy's on the team. Beast Boy would have been like the whole episode.
Wait.
Just like trying to hit on them. Bro.
Yeah. Dude, Beast Boy and the Flash, man.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, the possibilities.
Dude, they could have had Beast. The fact that we'll never get to see Beast Boy and Wally hang out in that universe, crazy. That would have been actually hilarious.
Don't say it.
Even just like imagining them in this animation style makes me angry that it doesn't exist.
I'm imagining it's not even that. It isn't even that different. Already, the animation style is already.
It's kind of close, different.
Yeah. It's easy to imagine is what I was imagining. Like, fuck, they all just fit in probably pretty well.
You could have had them be involved in like some big final, like they could have been involved in like the big final thing against Darkseid. Have Raven and all of them help. Have Raven help
would be very fucking useful.
Have Raven help. Have it be like Raven and Superman just beating the shit out of Darkseid.
God, Raven. Oh, yeah. There's just so much missed opportunity. That's really unfortunate that I now know that.
Yeah, I know. And now you have to just live with that forever.
I already lived with like
Teen Titans Go.
Teen Titans guilt that won't leave my body. Now we've compounded that somehow.
Man. Yeah, that's the best show ever.
True.
I saw someone did like a poll like a while back, and they were saying, they were comparing like older superhero shows. And they had the Justice League / JLU up against the old X-Men show. And I was like, guys,
let's make it a fair fight.
I was like, what we're not gonna do is pretend like X-Men was even close to as good as just look. I did not watch X-Men as a kid.
I admit that it was a great show, but like you're talking about a great show and a perfect show.
Yeah, and it's like I've rewatched. I've been watching the X-Men show a little bit. I'm like halfway through it, and I'm like, it's really good. It's really good. But
I've heard it.
But it ain't no fucking Justice League, all right? Like
this is like X-Men could be like an A-tier show. But you can't compare it to an S tier show that favor.
Justice League is like triple S plus.
Yeah, I'd personally rate it as high as humanly possible.
Yeah. However many S's and pluses I can slap on that bitch, that's the rating.
Yeah, whatever's necessary.
But yeah. I think that's about all I had.
All right, solid episode. Now you guys know, if you want to consume more Supergirl content, you got the hierarchy.
True. But don't watch Supergirl or the Arrowverse because that's a lot of commitment.
Yeah, true. Maybe okay. Yeah, maybe. You'd have to be a really big Supergirl fan to.
You don't want to do that.
Wow, I really like this character. What the fuck am I watching every 3 seconds? What the fuck am I doing?
It does not. I think the thing you could say confidently about like the entire Arrowverse, it's like it all starts out either. I would say some of it starts out great, like Arrow and Flash. Agreed. Arrow and Flash both started out great, and then everything else starts out at least good. But
sure,
absolutely all of them just
Plummet.
the whole time. There's no point. Like, there's a few little, like, Arrow has a few spikes where it tries to recover, but
Yeah,
it never
yeah.
fully makes it out of the gutter.
Some signs of life, but not.
Yeah.
But the operation was a failure.
Yeah.
Patient died.
I also would not waste your time watching Young Justice, which feels like a crazy thing to say, but
It is a crazy thing to say. It's definitely worth watching. In the
the
whole.
first two seasons
It's
are definitely worth watching. I don't think season
yeah.
3 and 4 are worth watching, especially
You have an argument for that.
especially
It's still a lot of cool shit in there though.
there is some cool stuff, yeah, but it does get very like preachy and therapy heavy and like, oh, we're
It
not
does.
superheroes, we're just people with powers and we need help and stuff like. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't fucking care. Like,
Yeah. I mean, there's a reason that all these shows we've talked about don't really do that because
plus,
it's just like not a great story
yeah,
line.
plus the fact that it ends on another cliffhanger that'll never get resolved. So it's just kind of like,
Again, hey, just wait a couple years. You never know. They'll somebody will
I I
drag.
don't think so. I think the dream died with season 4. I think
I mean, at this point, it might be.
like
I would think it's
because after season
but
2 ended on that cliffhanger and everyone was like, man, bring it back, bring it back, bring it back. And I can't remember a week that went by where you didn't
yeah,
see a post about wanting Young Justice to be renewed for season 3.
sure.
And then after season
Yeah, it's
4,
like Teen Titans,
yeah, yeah.
basically.
And then after season 4 got canceled, nobody said anything. It was just like,
That is
it
true.
was like, okay, the
That
dream's
is
dead.
true.
Let's let it go.
Yeah. Yeah, it's sad but true, yeah.
But yeah, all right. I think that's about it for this episode. Yeah. If you like what you see or hear, go check out the rest of our videos on YouTube, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
So, yeah.